Okay, so he promised to take the throne, but he was cast out. Okay, let's go to Revelation 17, verse 1. Okay, seeing that my fan was kind of already blowing it for me. All right. Yes, 17, verse 1, and it says, "And there came one of the seven angels which had the seven vials, and talked with me, saying unto me, Come hither, I will show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sitteth upon many waters." Okay, which is the religious. All right, the Roman Catholics, the Greeks, all these religions are the many waters. Okay, coming from that the great whore is sitting on. Okay, so this is proof that religion is something totally against the Bible. We do not need a religion to serve our God. All right, let's jump down to 15. Okay, 15, it says, "And he said unto me, the waters which thou sittest, where the whore sitteth, are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues." Okay, we're letting you know that the religions were going to be a vast amount of people, multitudes, speaking different tongues. Like you have the Asians with the Buddhists, the Hindus with Hinduism, the Muslims, all right, the Greeks, the Romans, the Americans, the Hispanics. You have Santeria. You have Voodoo, which are priests, Levi practices in Haiti. Okay. Now let's go to 19:2, so we can get this. "For true and righteousness are his judgments. For he hath judged the great whore which did corrupt the earth with her fornication, and with avenged the blood of his servants at her hand." Okay, so this is what God promised to do for his people, the Israelites. Okay, he promised to destroy the whore. All right, it also says here in Revelation, "Come out of her, my people, Babylon the Great." Okay, mystery Babylon the Great. All right, and to totally understand this Bible, you must study it. Okay, you can't just flip through the scriptures and say, okay, I like the New Testament, I'm not going to go to the Old Testament, or I like the Old Testament, I'm not going to study the New Testament. It all coincides. And another thing that you also have to get is the 14 books that was taken out, the Apocrypha. Okay, there was 14 books, great and powerful books that was taken out. Okay, you can't study a Bible that is incomplete. Take for Esther for an instant. Esther stops at the 10th chapter, 4th verse. Okay, when you look in the Apocrypha, it says the rest of Esther, and it follows right after Esther finishes in the Bible. Okay, the same thing with Ezra. Many people didn't know that Ezra had 3 books. You had Ezra, then you had 1st and 2nd Esdras, which proves that the 10 tribes went over to America. The 10 lost tribes, the Indian tribes, went over to America. They took it out because they wanted you to be dumbfounded and confused. Okay, they did not want you to know who your God is. All right. All right, so we're going to go to our last verse, and this is going to be Ephesians. All right, and this is again Paul writing to the church of Ephesus. Ephesians 6 and verse 12. Okay, to let you know, all right, that we're not just fighting people here. People are the main cause because we can physically see them. But here's what we're fighting. 6 and 12. "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay? These powers sought to destroy the Israelites. And that's why the nations came together in the spirit of the Antichrist, which is a spirit and not just one person, but it's a spirit. Okay? Anything that goes against God is an Antichrist. Alright? These powers tempted these other nations as they tempted Yeshua. They fell for it because what? They didn't have the law. They didn't have a higher on their side. Why? Because we fell. We fell. We the Israelites fell. We sinned against the Most High, and we could not fulfill what He called us to do, to be the representative of His law. But now we're coming back. We're going back, and we're taking our rightful place as the priest of the world and as the law bearers. Okay, but these powers sought to destroy us by having all these nations come up against us and have a crafty counsel to cut off the nation of Israel. So what do we need to do as Israelites? Let's go to 1 Kings 8:46. For if thy sin against thee, for there is no man that sinneth not, this is the Israelites, for no Israelite hath sinned not, and thou be angry with them, and deliver them to the enemies which he has, so that they carry them away captive unto the land of the enemies, far or near. Where are we? Far from our borders of Israel. Okay? But here's the key. Here's the key in verse 47. Yet if they shall bethink, which means remember themselves in the land whether they were carried captive, and repent, okay, which is very important, and make supplication, okay, pray, unto thee in the land of them that carried them captive, saying with your mouth, we have sinned and have done perversely, we have committed wickedness. And so return unto thee with all their heart, this is 48, their heart, and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land. So when you pray, you have to pray towards Jerusalem. You have to pray towards Israel. Okay? Which thou givest unto their fathers, the city which thou hast chosen, and the house which I have built for thy name. Then hear their prayer and their supplication in heaven, thy dwelling place, and maintain their cause. What is our cause? To get back home, to be established amongst all the nations, okay, and to fulfill what God has ordained us to do as a people and as a nation, to go forth and spread His name and His laws to all the nations, to the Gentiles. Okay? So that concludes our study about the lie of the Trinity and the lie of the Immaculate Conception. But I urge you to go and prove everything that I said. Okay? The Bible says prove all things. Okay? Try everything by the Spirit of God. Alright? With that, I say Shalom.